Hello, everyone, and greetings. This is Classic Citizen coming to you from within 2021. Happy New Year. I pray all have made it with minimum bumps and bruises from 2020. 2020 was quite a year, and so if we're here today to talk about it, then we've made it, and so welcome into 2021. And just want to do a short video on some things I've learned about as I continue to plan my trip to Africa. And one of the things that an important thing that you definitely want to do is register with the State Department to let them know that you will be traveling abroad. And that website is travel.state.gov. And within that website, there's a drop down menu options and U.S. citizen travelers, which would be us. And then another drop down menu that you want to select is U.S. citizen in an emergency in the event of. So you want to become familiarized with that website and make that your friend. Have it on your cell phone, have it on your laptop, whatever. Make sure you go register the timeline in the countries that you plan to visit, and get the embassy information, phone numbers, addresses, and things like that. In the event of, I remember when I was in England, and tea is the drink in England. Tea, Earl Grey tea, just tea. And the house that I rented, it was lovely home, and the water was so hot, it was scalding hot from the spigot that when I made my tea, I did not boil the water. I felt like a blonde at the time, but I did not boil the water, and I was just drinking tea after cup of tea after cup of tea for a period of time. Then one night, of course, it always happened after midnight when things go wrong. I started freezing. These chills came over my body, and I was freezing. I was in bed and I was freezing, and my teeth were chattering. My body was shaking, and I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I can't stop. And I started putting on clothes, and I started putting extra blankets on me, and turning the heat up. And I'm like, why am I, chitter, my teeth, and I'm like, I'm gonna die over here in England, and nobody's gonna know, And fortunately, I had registered with what they call the local surgery, which is just like a local clinic in walking distance of your home. And I had registered with them, and they had 24-hour on-call services. And I called them like, I can't stop shaking. And the nurse or the staff walked me through my vitals, literally telling me to hold my pulse, counting, close my eyes, counting, doing this, doing that. And as she was walking me through on the phone, all of a sudden I started, this heat rush came over me. All of a sudden I started sweating. I mean, literally just drips and drops of sweat on my body. And I'm like, what's going on with me? And so she just stayed on the phone with me, and she says, it sounds like you had a high fever, your body reacted, and now the fever has broken, okay, and your body is trying to cool down now. And so I was so glad that she was there with me. And so the next morning she said, come on into the surgery. I mean, it's a clinic, it's not a surgery, but everything is paid for in England. You don't pay for anything. It's insane. And I walked in, and she explained to me that my body had a bacteria. And I did some urine sample. They took some blood, and I had a bacteria. And she says, "Did you eat anything?" She just kind of walked me through, and I explained to her that I'd never boiled the water. You know, and she goes, "That's a no-no. You just put bacteria in your body." And so, I'm saying all that to just encourage you to register on travel.state.gov, and to let them know of your timeline and the countries that you plan to visit, even if you're country hopping, which is what I plan to do. So do that. And the next thing I want to recommend is making connections through social media. There's a lot of YouTubers from the states that are gone over there. Majority of them are just planet over there. They're there to stay. And then there are some who have visited. There's some who have visited for extended periods. There was this one YouTuber who was over in Rwanda for about 3 months. And so, he was doing various things and stuff like that. So I do encourage everyone to make connections through social media. And then after you do that, then follow up outside of social media. Get their email address, get their WhatsApp phone number, WhatsApp app phone number, and the email, WhatsApp, and then continue dialogue. Continue dialogue. I made connections with this one gentleman, and I said to him, I said, look, I want to visit, I want to see these baobab trees. And if you know anything about Africa, they have these magnificent trees, and they're just odd looking. And I said, he says, yeah, I know where they are. Yeah, I'll take you there. I'll take you there. And it's not just somebody random. He has connections with someone else that I have made connections with. So I do encourage you to make connections using social media platform, and then follow up outside. Make the phone calls, do the emails, just continue some type of ongoing dialogue, and in that process, you're getting to know who this person is. Okay. The other thing, I would encourage, if you're able to visit more than once. If God and the ancestors permit, I plan to visit for at least a minimum of 3, maybe 4 months. And I'm planning to do some country hopping, Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, and Rwanda. I've looked at Rwanda. I really like the landscape of Rwanda. So anyway, of course, I would probably try to visit Rwanda again. And while visiting, I understand you're going to need a tax identification number to make sure you're paying the appropriate taxes. And I'm still kind of fuzzy on this because I don't plan on doing a business. I don't plan on doing any of that. I'm a senior citizen. I just want to get over there and just experience my heritage, my lineage, my culture, my people, and of course, spend money into the local economy. So, but I think that you may have to get what they call a TIN, which is a tax identification number. And I understand that each country has their own TIN. I was following one vlogger, and he was saying that he can help me to get a TIN, because I asked him, I said, because he said it was like a social security number. Well, here in the States, a social security number travels with you everywhere in this country. And but he says no, each country has their own TIN. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not like a social security number. Okay. So kind of let us be clear. Sometimes when you don't have your feet on the ground, if you've already, because he's been in Africa 2 years now, and he's doing magnificent things in Ghana. And so he's kind of maybe disconnected because social security numbers follow you everywhere. But anyway, nonetheless. The other thing is to coordinate shipping personal effects. Yeah, you may have you may have your favorite facial cream, your favorite toothpaste, your favorite lip balm, your favorite perfumes. There may be some things that you want to just coordinate with the hospitality place that you plan on visiting first and foremost, and say, hey, can I ship a box there? Go ahead and make your reservations, of course, pay for all that. And there, from what I understand from my coordination, that yeah, we'll be happy to receive your package and just put it aside when you get here. You can just check in and take it onto your room. So I there's some personal effects that I want to just go ahead and send it on there, and it'll be there upon about certain soaps, certain lotions, mosquito repellents. I plan to get my hair done while I'm there, so I'm shipping some of my my hair products. And so yeah, I have a mattress topper I want to take with me. I have a certain pillow, so I plan on doing a nice box. It may cost me a little fortune to mail it over there, to just get it over there. And from each country, I'll have to do the same thing, you know. And when I go to Ghana, hey, coordinate with the hospitality, agency and say, hey, can I, and they're, from what I said, they're more than happy to work with you and say, yeah, sure. They already got your reservation. Yeah, sure. So I do whatever personal effect, whatever it is, and I wouldn't go as far as doing clothes, I mean, because you are going to take some luggage, but you may try to do that, you may want to get as much over there in advance as possible, so when you come there, you're kind of light, you don't have a lot of, you don't have a lot of luggage or anything like that. So I recommend that, and I also recommend uh, coordinating with your financial institution. Matter of fact, mine said just let them know where and when you are going to be traveling, and then so there won't be anything suspicious coming up on their radar. I remember when I went to Atlanta, and I didn't tell them I was going to Atlanta. I didn't think it was a big deal, and I tried to get some money, or I tried to do something. I don't know what it was, and they shot me an email saying, "Hey, fraud alert!" Or not an email but a text. Fraud alert! Someone is trying to do some transaction in Atlanta. Is this you? And then I hit them back, and I'm like, yeah, it is me. I do apologize for not letting you guys know. I just didn't think it was a big deal, but it was. And I thank them, for being on it, being on it. Yeah, absolutely. So letting your financial institution know when and where you're going to be. And I hear that bringing cash, just bringing some cash with you, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, and so you don't have to go into the financial institution and coordinate moving monies from that account, or even opening up an account. I don't think you have to open up an account to actually do some trans to trade monies. Give me local currency for my U.S. currency, and if you can bring cash, I understand. If you bring less than 10 grand, we all got it in our pocket. We got 10 grand in our in our bra strap. But if you plan to bring more than 10 grand, I understand you have to declare it. Uh, and But if it's under 10 grand, like 9,099, you should be fine. And of course, in some countries you get a wad of money. This wad is equal to $100. It's just crazy, but it is what it is. So if you do plan on bringing cash, anything less than 10,000 does not have to be declared, and through customs. And again, letting your financial institution know when and where you're traveling to, and the last thing is directing your mail. If you're just going to your local post office, and going ahead and either opening up a PO box and letting them know to see what is the duration. I had a friend who went to Panama, and it was before the pandemic, but she got caught up in the pandemic, and the airlines shut down, and she could not come back to the States for a longer duration than she planned on being there. And fortunately, she was with family, so it wasn't like she had to expend a whole bunch of money. But the post office, let her, tracked her down and said, hey, we're not gonna hold your mail anymore. We're not gonna hold your mail any longer. And she's like, look, I'm stuck over here. I'm stuck. I can't come back. And he was doing that blur period of the or pandemic, where people they just weren't quite sure on how to deal with things, and so there was like, yeah, okay, fine, So direct your mail either to a PO box, contact your local post office, and let them know the duration of your stay abroad, and or coordinate with a neighbor or a friend and say, hey, just slide on through maybe once a week and collect my mail and just hold it until I get back. But you just don't want, you don't want there to be some type of havoc, because the letter carriers are not going to know that you're out of town. They're not going to know that. Okay, so you have to notify your post office, a family member, a friend, or neighbor, so that they can collect your mail. And so that's all I have. I continue to pray that you all are well and safe. And a lot transpired in 2020, and I do believe it's bleeding into 2021. Unfortunately, still, I continue to drink my ginger, garlic, lemon, lime, and some other herbs that I got online. And I continue to drink a cup. It seems like I can only do a cup a day. Because there's a lot of acid in it. And so I still do this. I've been safe. I've been healthy, and still washing my hands, keeping my distance, wearing my mask, and as we do whatever it is that we're going to do. There's controversy about the shots and the vaccinations, and I do believe I saw something on the news that kind of briefly went by, something about a medical passport, and I do believe that it may come to a point where I may have to either get vaccinated or definitely have a test. And then there's some controversy, some conspiracy theory about the test actually has the vaccine on it. And you know how they stick it way up in your brain? I don't know. Stick it way up in your brain, and it ain't just boom, boom. It's like it's up there. And so, there's some conspiracy theories about that. But I think it's going to come to a point where they're going to say that you can't travel unless you either have had the vaccine or you are proven negative. And, this is our new norm. And, there's just talk about, that it's our new norm, and there's a new era coming into effect. And it's we're coming into the future, a new phase of dimension or whatever. And so I just encourage you all to continue to practice safety protocol, and just be cognizant of other people, the elderly, and the youth, the actual babies. Their immune system is not quite there as well. And to be considerate of others, regardless of their race, creed, or ethnicity, or and yeah. So that's all I have. Travelstate.gov. Make connections through social media to the country or the countries that you plan to travel. Visit more than once if you're able to. If you're already set on going and staying, God bless you and keep you and protect you. Coordinate shipping some personal effects, personal items, intimate items, And if you're going to take cash, less than 10 grand, it doesn't have to be declared through customs. And let your financial institution know that you are planning to travel abroad and where, so it doesn't look suspicious on their end, and they stop any transactions from going through that you're trying to accomplish while you're in the country that you're visiting. And directing your mail, coordinating through the post office, getting a P.O. box. I actually got a small P.O. box, like $26 for 6 months, and I might just go ahead and after that's done, to actually get a larger P.O. box. Not that I'm expecting a ton of mail, but I'm hoping that the larger it is, the more that they can keep without hassling me, And or if I can't do that, coordinating with a neighbor, a friend, or family member to collect my mail. So anyway, as my fabulous son would say, Ma Good Talk. I hope that this was useful to someone. And I thank YouTube for the platform, the opportunity to actually talk to myself, if no one else, you know. I don't mind talking to myself. I'm okay with it, you know. And again, check your heart, check the motives of your heart. It's a new year. We can get a fresh start. You know, you can say, hey, I did this all last year and the year before. This year I'm going to do something different. And you can. You really can. You know, it's going to take effort to change or do a paradigm shift, but you can do it. You know, you can do it. You just got to want to. You know, if you want that iPhone 15 or whatever's out there, 20,000, you know, you're gonna find a way to get it, you know, so you can make a change if you want to. So anyway, good talk. Continue to take care. Thank you so much for allowing me to come onto your screen, and thank you too for allowing me to come onto my screen. And yeah, peace out. um, Take care until next time.